Hey there. Well, I'm doing this right now because the house is a mess from all my freaking cats. Um, I thought I would do Gemini. Or my interpretation of Gemini, because I have this placement in my moon and Jupiter. Um, I don't like to do housework all the time. I mean, I used to really want to, and I want it to be my job. I like a certain way to do it, but it gets to be redundant. And I was getting irritated because I have to clean it, so I figure out the fastest, quickest way to get it done. I have this cat hat on. It's from some anime. I forget this. Kiki service. I forget the cat's name. Anyway, it looks like my cat Tatum. And I like it, so. I forgot my book that I wrote all this Gemini stuff down on. I put it somewhere and now I don't have it. So I'm just gonna go off my head. Gemini. Not to get off the subject, but my 3 Sag cats are over there playing. And that's the opposite of Gemini. I'm playing on the dog bed because they think they're puppies. You guys think you're puppies? Puppies? Cappies? Huh? Junie? Junie? You're a little puppy. Oh, there she is. She's gonna come to mommy. Anyway, she's my little kitty. Aren't you, Junie? Don't sneeze on me. I think they're allergic to humans. Anyway, the cats have destroyed the freaking house, so I gotta clean that. Geminis are witty, fun, like puzzles and Where's Waldo, hidden object games, and avert eyes, like looking everywhere at everything, because they're always thinking, their mind's always going on and on and on, rationalizing things out. Has many different perspectives on many different things. Could change their emotions quick. Needs to learn to feel their emotions. Very versatile. Could be a mediator. Sometimes they can go around trying to please everyone, telling them different things, which could seem like they're very two-faced, but they're trying to tell everybody what they want to hear so they can kind of keep the peace, like the Libra moon. But it could all catch up with them sooner or later and force them to feel their emotions instead of rationalize them, per se. But it also depends on the whole of your chart, you know. If you have a lot of aspects or earth, water, fire elements to it, the earth and the water is going to make you feel a lot deeper. I think of fire as intuition, and water feeling, and earth more sensual and grounded, and air intellectual and shifty. So I think the Gemini could seem like they have like multiple personalities or different aspects to their self all the time because they like change one mood to the next. It's like, especially the moon sign, it's like you say you feel this way, within the next moment on the same thing, on the same issue, you could have several different feelings about the same issue that change. Like the air is changing motions, changing it, which way it goes. So it gets to be confusing. You just jump and flip from one project to the next, and you need to be take more time to finish those projects. I'm not saying that anybody with Gemini can't finish projects, because they can. We all have these things in us that there's so much going on during the day and we have so much to do that it's hard to sit down and finish projects to begin with. But the air and the fire has a big sense of distractibility about them to begin with. So we need to try harder if we have a lot of those energies. Let's see. We can come up with a lot of puns or funny stuff. Be lighthearted. A lot of people with a lot of Gemini can be talking to everybody and need to communicate. Depending on where your house placement is, I mean, and your rising sign and things of that nature. But like, forgot what I was saying because something come up there and I was reading it. Crap. I hate when that happens. I'm thinking something, it leaves me. Sometimes I feel like I'm freaking senile, but that happens a lot. But I think if you got a lot of air in your personal planets or fire in your personal planets, your thoughts come and leave you like that. You just have to try to hold on to them or write them down. I totally lost it. Probably when I watch this or somebody else watches it and tells me what I was saying, then I'll know. I can get back to it. Or it'll just come to me here in a minute. Books I like to read, like to write, like to talk to themselves and get their thoughts and feelings out there because it's hard for them to feel it. They need reinsurance through words and they need to voice it. And, you know, they don't want to get really deep into it like other, you know, water signs would or whatever. They just want to be lighthearted about it, like, okay, let's just talk about it, shrug it off, go to the next thing, you know. Unless you got some other things in there that make you want to talk deeper about it. I have my moon in the 7th house, so I'm a little bit codependent in my relationship, so that was something I had to work on really bad. Like going out to eat. Well, where do you want to eat? Well, where do you want to eat? So I'd have them pick where to eat for a very long time, or even pick what I was going to eat, or I would just have what they're going to eat instead of choosing for myself, because I felt like I didn't know how to, or I wanted to please the person. But sooner or later, Emily quit. Sooner or later, I learned how to do that as I grew, as I probably had tons of different transits going on. So also, when you have other people come in your life and have relationships, that forces you to look at them and see the things that that you need to work on, and vice versa, because we reflect. And that's how we grow to our highest potentials and attract the right partner and attract the right things in our life, I believe. My personal opinions. Through relationships. I think Geminis are good in relationships because they can always communicate, they can always mediate, they can always find a way for everybody to be happy. Just like the moon in Libra or the moon in Aquarius. And what they rule is the lungs and the hands and the urethra tube. And I have a story to tell about this. When I was born, I was a baby. My dad brought me home and I kept on running these fevers. They couldn't figure out what it was. So my dad kept on taking me back. Finally he took me and he stayed there and he says, "You're going to figure out what's wrong and I'm not leaving this hospital." So they found out it was my urethra tube, and my urine was not coming out. It was backing up and I could have died. So they had to stretch my urethra tube in order for me to urinate properly. I've had to have that done later on in life as well. Just one other time, but that's a ruling thing that Gemini rules. So I look for it, if it's in your moon, your sun, or your rising, to be an issue for you. Especially, and another thing I've had an issue with is shoulders hurting, or my wrist and my elbow and my hands. I have carpal tunnel. I had the surgery on my wrist and my elbow. It still didn't stop my cramping. I have bad cramping in my arms and my fingers and everything. And I think that it's tendonitis. So, and I have arthritis too, but I'm going back Monday to get that checked out because it's been 6 months since my surgery from my right hand, and my cramping has not gone away. So I'm going to get that checked out. Lungs, I've had problems with breathing and wheezing sometimes, so I had to quit smoking 3 years ago. And I've had this fluttering thing, and I wasn't sure what that was. It wasn't my heart. So I'm getting it checked out for GERD to see if that's it. But if not, you could have problems lung-wise, like with pneumonia, and I've had that. Yeah, we communicate with our hands a lot, and you just gotta watch out for those things, those Gemini things, when it comes to your body. We like to analyze and know what we're thinking, and research everything. It's like we got to have the fact, and you got to have the information so you can share it with everybody. You know. As far as eating, I know I love popcorn, the crunchy popcorn. I go to salt, but I have a lot of water. I'm not much of a sweet eater. I don't know why. I've never have been. I think probably what I went through with my daughter being pregnant, eating all them fudge sundaes, I probably got sick of it. But I have my sweet thing under control. I don't I'd rather eat popcorn. There's so much to talk about. I don't even know. Gemini is such a complex sign. And it's how I am emotionally and how I am when I think expansively. Like, I want to teach and I want to help people and I want to show them many different perspectives to everything. But there's not just one way. There's many different ways to get to the same conclusion. And I just like to share that information. I mean, anybody can do whatever they want to do with that information, but I like to share that information. It could make you, having the moon sign and everything could make you have insomnia. I haven't suffered from insomnia here lately. I've been getting really tired and going through some kind of a sleepy spell. But I forgot again what I was going to say. Oh yeah, having Jupiter in Gemini. That helps with school, because I see the 9th house as my higher learning, and when I'm trying to think, get into my higher self, my higher awareness, it just expands and expands and expands and expands, kind of like my cat Jake when he lays down, and he's a Sagittarian cat. He just keeps on expanding and expanding until he knocks everything off. So I call him Expando. But it's kind of like that. Your mind just expands and expands until you just go places. You get those answers. But that's all I can tell you right now. So for Gemini, are like kids. You know, it's a young sign like Aries, so you're forever young. And you have that sparkle in your eyes and excitement and want to go out and go shopping and share everything and all that stuff. Share them exciting things. So, especially with your children. Anyway, light to all, love to all. Bye-bye.